Hi everyone, it's Judy. Welcome back to Rose Lane. Okay, we're on to another ephemera slash page project for the Autumn Garden Journal. I'm trying to push it along and get it done. So we saw the one. I started an ephemera basket. Watch this. There it is. That's my ephemera basket, one piece so far. Okay, I'm going to put that back over there. We're going to get started on this. This is actually kind of another, not really a hidden pocket, but like a hidden tag, maybe pocket. I don't know. Anyway, let me show you what I did. These are some of the tags. I'm going to want to put like some little bits in. I didn't make tags out of them yet, and I haven't put any. I think I'm going to put lace on. I'm not sure yet. What if I want to put anything on top of these? It depends on how it looks in the page once the page is done. So let me get that for you. These are my templates. Okay, so I'm going to open this up. It's just a tea dye page. Originally, I think I might have said that I wanted this to be one signature, and yet again, it's not coming out that way. So there's something over here that I meant to be the middle of the signature. Now it looks like I'm going to have two signatures just so that the book will lay a little bit better. It has to, I can't go any more than that because I've already made the cover. So, yeah, so this is going to be the middle of the second signature. And I don't know which one's going to go where, but these are going to be tags, and we'll get to those in a minute. So what I've done, let me see if I can show you. I had a different piece of paper. This is one that I had shrunk down. But it originally would have kind of looked something like that, okay? And I was going to just do one page, one side. And then in the interim decided that it looked like I was going to need two signatures, so decided, okay, well then I'll make it a centerpiece. So even though the page was cut like this, it's going to get glued down, and actually it works better that way for what I came up with. So this is what I came up with. If I put this down, and this is just a practice kind of piece, okay, not practice, but just illustration purposes. If I put this down, what I did was I actually cut them this way because they're going to come into V's. So the pockets are going to go like this, okay, and then like this, and I'll show you that in a second, okay? So that's what I did. So that's what I have here. Here's two of them. Okay, so I am not a math person, and I don't do well like with mirrors and things like that. So this was fun trying to put this together, and I'll tell you, I've not been sleeping well because I finally went to see an ear doctor for a problem I've had with my ears for as long as I can remember. Well, my right ear. Figuring, you know what, things are falling apart on me. I better start getting things looked at and be a little bit more serious about some stuff. So I went to the doctor, and he put me on some medication, and the medication is not sitting well with me. I tried to be patient and give it the week, but he'll be getting a phone call from me on Monday. I'm falling asleep at the drop of the hat in the middle of the afternoon, like literally falling asleep, sitting in my chair, and I'll start to fall over, or I'm writing something, and next thing I know, I open my eyes and the pen has gone across the page with this big line because I fell asleep. It's ridiculous. So I came home yesterday from work not feeling very well because of all of that. Went to sleep for about 2 hours, woke up eventually somewhere around 11 o'clock or so, and was awake until 4 o'clock in the morning. So where do you think I went? I came down here while everybody else was sleeping, and I came up with this. So all that to say that. Okay, so what we're doing here is I cut the paper apart on itself, and all this is just a little something to slide underneath the pocket underneath it, okay? just to give it a little bit more stability on the edges of the paper. That's all I did. So I just backed it with another piece of copy paper, because the tags that are going to go in it and then gluing all the stuff down onto the paper adds enough bulk. I didn't want to make it super stiff, and you'll see what we end up doing to protect the edges of the pockets, more or less. So what we're going to do is we are going to actually start up at the top, but this is, I just want to show you what it's looking like. Okay, it goes like this, and then this one's going to be actually glued down up here because nothing goes there. So we don't ink it. Oh, by the way, if I sound short of breath, again, this is a side effect of whatever this medication is that he's giving me. Then we're going to be working on that. But anyway, so I don't want to ink the edges, because when it's down, I don't want it to look like you can see the edges. I want it to look a little more camouflaged. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to get started here, and let's pray I do this right, because I just, like, you know, I'm winging it here, and have not practiced this or done a prototype or anything, you know, for a sample to see how it works. It's working in my head, and that could be a scary thing. So I am just going to get this piece glued down, because nothing goes, there's no pocket to this up in this corner. What I am going to do, because I do have a little bit of trouble seeing the lines, you know, seeing where the fold is now, I'm just going to do that so I have a better shot at seeing where I need to place it, so I don't go over the line. Okay, and get it lined up with the edge of the page, hopefully. That's not bad at all. And my little scrungy little thing here. Okay, let's get that line off while I'm thinking of it. Okay, so that one's glued down. So now we're going to take the next one, which should be this one, and what helps, it's stuck to the glue. What helps is that because you cut it on the you know, just to the pattern, you can match it up, and that helps me figure out that I'm on the right, I took the right piece. Okay, this is stuck up a little bit here. Let's try to get that down. So that goes there. Now this one is going to go in here. Okay, and I want to get, whoops, that one's not stuck down either. It is not stuck down. Okay. All right, and that one I did, I hope. Well, more or less, but I can use a little bit more on that. Okay. All right, so the next one, I keep getting my sweater caught on here, so let me just move this stuff up and out of the way there. All right, this one is the next one that's going to go down, and like I said, this is just sort of going into the next pocket just to give it some reinforcement. So let's get this piece down. So we had an absolutely beautiful fall day here today. And the temperature dropped, I would say, probably about 10 degrees, and with it a lot of the humidity. So of course, lower humidity, cooler temperatures, you know, it feels considerably cooler than just the 10 degrees, though that's a pretty significant change for a temperature drop, I'm sorry, in like 24 hours. So, but it was just lovely. I mean, for me, it was just lovely. It rained, but like I said, for me, it's just lovely. It didn't rain the whole day, but it did rain part of the day. So, and it rained last night, and I love laying in bed and hearing the thunder. I'll try to line this up. Uh-oh. I did that wrong. You see? I did it wrong already. While I'm thinking of it, let me try to get this cleaned up. I just realized I'm gluing the whole pocket down. Okay, I'm gonna get another, whoops, another wipe. Oop, move my garbage can. Okay. All right. This is a little bit easier to get off, but I really don't want to have to go through cutting this again, because when I did it last night, I did it for this side of the page, and the pockets went this way. Okay, the slant went this way. When I decided that I was going to do it on both sides of the page, I didn't like the pockets going this way and then going this way, or going this, you know, so I needed to flip it, which meant I had to flip the paper, which meant I had to print a new one. And then I cut it wrong again. So I had to print a new one. So I really don't want to print another new one. So just trying to rub all this off as best as I can, because you don't want it rough in the pocket. Whoops, if you can help it. And we will be doing something to the other side of these pages, probably. I may just leave them, you know, just plain, just the tea stain and a little bit of inking on it. But I'm not going to, you know, I might put something on it. I don't know, but I have a feeling this is going to be pretty weighty enough and thick enough that I'll probably just leave it plain. So let me move this over and see if I can get some of this off of here, or smooth it down. I'm trying not to tear the paper. As long as it's smooth, I'll be happy. So anyway, so yeah, it was nice last night to just kind of lie in bed and listen to the low rumble of the thunder. And I mean, it rained pretty hard a few times, like, you know, you could hear it. But I didn't see any lightning. I did hear the thunder. It wasn't any big claps or anything, just those nice rolling sounds, which was just, you know, really nice. Oh, if you hear noises in the background, that's my washing machine. So I think what I'm going to do, this is still a little damp. Let me rub this just a little bit more. And then I think I'm going to try, I have some like nail files or manicuring file type things over here. I think I'm going to try to just kind of do an Artie Mays smoothing down with one of those. Something nice and not too, and just sort of rub that off. Yeah, that's a lot better. That's a lot better. She does this with gesso. When I'm getting warm. I'm going to take my sweater off. When she gessos things, she'll file. At least she used to. But she'll file down the gesso a little bit, make it a little smoother. Some people like to leave it, the gesso, and keep that effect. She likes hers a little smoother from time to time, I guess, depending on what she's doing. And so that's where I got this from. If I did make a mistake and needed to get rid of, you know, glue, or wanted a smoother finish on something I gessoed, or something I, you know, decoupaged with Mod Podge or something. But here you can see if I can get this up. Ooh, so you can see what glue is coming off just from doing that, making it a little smoother. Certainly adds to my prep time, my you know, my getting it done time. But hey, you know, at least it was savable. I'd rather do this than cut another piece of paper. How sad is that? Okay, all right, that's because cutting it requires too much math for me. All right, I'm gonna just put that over there. All right, so what we're gonna do now, yeah, that's pretty good, I'd say. A little bit more right there. Come on, you. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to go around the perimeter, because that's the smarter thing to do, and then we'll lay it back down again. So anyway, so yeah, I enjoyed that, though it didn't take me too long to fall asleep last night. Once I finally did fall asleep, I should say this morning, it comes on me all of a sudden, and As a matter of fact, I was down here today, and just about 1:45 or so, I felt it starting to come on, that like my switch was going to go off. And I just can't keep my eyes open, and all of a sudden it's like somebody just turns a switch or snips a wire on me, and I fall immediately to sleep, like hypnosis or something. Like, you know, I'll snap my fingers, snap, and then I did it again, didn't I? Yeah, good grief. All right. I'll snap my fingers, and you know, you're asleep or you're awake or whatever, and immediately there's a response, and that's what's happening to me. It's crazy. It is just crazy. So, needless to say, not happy about that. So, this is the right way, right? And that's going to go down the side. I'm really hoping I'm doing this right, because I've already cut the cards for it. I've got so much stuff on my desk. Oh my goodness. It is just insane. All right, I'm trying to line up the picture as best as I can. All right, I think that'll be good. Okay, now let me find a bone folder, because I want to make sure I have this up and not being glued down, because now I've got glue on it, like, you know, twice. So I just want to make sure. I'm gonna try to kind of rub the bone folder along the back where I have the glue, where I don't want it, and hopefully get the glue off of there. And I do want it to you know, come up a little bit. Get anything off of here? Nothing back there. Okay. I like having it, you know, just come up a little bit. So I think actually the way I did this for the cards, I don't want it glued there either. So let me get that out. I don't want it glued on the bottom. This is such an old bone folder. I may have to trim the cards, because I trimmed them, or I should say measured them and cut them as if, you know, they were just going to fit straight down. But again, I don't know exactly what it is I'm going to come up with. So next pocket will be better. So I'm hoping. All right, that should do it. Oh. Get that little guy off of there. Okay, so what we're looking at, and I haven't done anything with these yet, this would actually be, get just one, and like I said, I'm gonna have to, yeah, see, this is gonna have to come up too. This needs to come up too. I may end up cutting another one. That the glue is still soft. Thank God I used the 3-in-1, right? Oh my goodness. Okay. And like I said, these may be just a little too big at this point. So they're actually going to go inside the pocket like this. And I think it is kind of too big. I think I'm going to want it a little bit smoother. I mean, a little bit smaller. So I'll worry about that later. At this point, I just want to get the pockets on. Actually, you know what? I think it might be wise to do it now, because I do want it. I do want the, I don't know if you can see it. Let me find something darker here. I do want, I don't know if that's helping, the tag or the journal card to stick out over the edge of what would be the pocket. Okay, I do want that, and I'll show you why that's going to be. So what I need here then is to, that should be all right. I'm going to trim it down from the back a little bit, just so that we have a little bit more play. You know, it's easier to get in and out. Yeah, most definitely. I think I'm going to trim it from here as well. Okay, and then let me try to get it where I think it's going to fit. And I am going to just mark a little spot here. Okay. All right, I'm going to trim this down now, just to make sure that it fits before I move on and put in another pocket, or put on another pocket, because once the other pocket is over it, you know, over the last pocket, I don't know how easily I will be able to see what's happening inside the pocket from before, if you know what I mean. So that is my plan. And when I get this one cut, I will use it. Oh, you know what? Let me do this one first. I'm going to cut my little line off. I'll use it as my template for the one for the other side, which doesn't matter in this case which way you cut them. You just flip them to whichever, you know, side it is you're going to use. I am not going to really decorate them. I'm not going to really do any collaging or anything. Again, partly because of the width, I mean the thickness, I should say, of, you know, the project. I don't want it to get real thick or bulky. And partly because on pages like this, I want to try to maximize the writing space and, you know, kind of create more writing space for, because you're losing it, if that makes any kind of sense at all. Okay, so I'm going to just put this one to the side, because hopefully that will remind me that that's the one I've done. So we've got this one. This is going to stay open up on top, and it's going to go down here. And I'll re-glue this. It's just been glued and pulled and glued and pulled so many times. I'm going to do it down here like this. Get that glue in here. There we go. Okay, whoops. Put it on my bone folder. Okay. All right. So I spent the day today trying to sort through, okay, I don't want to bother this as I keep pulling it up. Trying to sort through some new digitals that I had bought, and I'm trying to save them. Okay, where did they go? Here we are. I'm trying to save them like all over the place. I had been saving them just onto flash drives and not even into my hard drive. And my son is like, why are you not saving things onto your hard drive? Da, 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 you know, and all this stuff. And I was like, well, you know what? I guess really you're right. So, okay, so this one, I'm only going to glue here and here and here. So we're going to go across the bottom here, down this side, and down this side. Okay, let's see if I can remember that, because I flipped it over now. So there lies the problem, at least for me. So yeah, so I took everything that was on the flash drive, you know, easy enough, and copied it over to my hard drive, which was fine. Then I decided I was going to get another set, because I have two 64 gigabytes, I guess, whatever they are, I think. I have two of those, and I have the alphabet split on them. So I have A through L on the one flash drive, and then I have, oh, you know what? I'm putting this on with the art glitter glue, so I really better be right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so is this, yeah, it's okay. Oh, maybe it's not as okay as I thought. I'm gonna have to, See what happens when you don't see right. It won't be really a problem, I don't think. It's just a matter of covering it with the paper from the other side when I get to that side. So anyway, so, you know, putting it, and then, you know, so I got a second set of flash drives, and so A to L is on one, M to Z is on the other. And like I said, I got that second set. And, but now, that was kind of easy to just copy and, you know, paste it all over onto into a new drive. But now, now that I have to, you know, as I buy things, yeah, that becomes my problem. I'm not sure how I'm going to fix this just yet. I think I'm going to try to, I don't know. I'll wait on that and see what I'm going to do. Yeah, so now that's this one now. So this one, I did it again. I'll get it right on the second page. I probably said just down the side and this. I can't even remember. So, all right, there we go. But so now every time I get a new digital, I have to save it to my hard drive and then save it to both the flash drives. I don't always have both the flash drives with me. So sometimes I usually just keep them in my purse. If I come down here, I don't always remember to when I bring the computer down, I will oftentimes forget to bring the flash drives down. So that becomes an issue. I'm not going to glue that down either because I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Okay, so that is not bad. I'll put that out that way. I think I'm just going to trim this a little bit over here just to narrow it up a little bit. So anyway, so I spent the day, well, part of the day, not the whole day, kind of trying to bring everything together. And okay, that one goes up there. And then this one is going to go down here, and this one we can actually do the whole two sides. All right. So I did that this morning, straightening some of that stuff out. I owe some emails back. Some of my subbies have been very supportive. I mean, you all have been very supportive of me with everything I've been going through, and I have gotten some very lovely personal messages from a lot of the ladies, and some of them have, you know, just wanted to come alongside and you know, just be really supportive of me. So I do have some emails. You know who you are. I swear, I promise I'm getting to you. It was a rough week at work. I think I'm going to go back to the Fabri-Tac. It's a little harder for me when I'm going to be placing things. So I need to be placing them so precisely that it's hard for me. Whoops, I just dropped my ruler. It's hard for me to get them in the right places. So I want to just trim this as best as I can, if I can. This should be fun. Just kind of get this trimmed down a little bit because it's kind of rolled over. I think it'll be easier this way. Yeah, actually, it will. So I did that this morning. I have emails that I have to answer. Like I said, it was a rough week at work this week. Like I said, I know I don't generally talk about my work, but the work that we do can be particularly difficult, physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. Yeah, it gets kind of hard. And it was one of those weeks this week. So, all right, so this is going to go in here. If I can figure out what I've done. You worked before. Now stop. There we go. I think I'm still going to trim this down a little bit. It's just a little too tight for my liking. So yeah, so I just had a rough week, and when I came in yesterday after that, like I said, after that whole episode again of just sort of falling asleep at the drop of a hat, and having had a particularly rough day that day and the day before, I was just exhausted. I was just wiped out, burnt out, whatever you want to call it. So I'm not in the frame of mind that I ought to be in to answer people. And that, my friends, is why if you're wondering why you haven't heard from me, that is why. There's the little culprit. I just undid him. Why this wasn't going down. Okay. Or maybe not. I'm still hitting something. Let's try getting it from down. Ah, there we go. Yeah, so like I said, if you're wondering why you haven't heard from me, it's just I have not been in the proper frame of mind the last few days to be able to answer, to be able to answer, in a more appropriate way. So, okay, so I think I still want to take this down a little bit. You'll see why I keep chopping away at this in a few minutes. Well, maybe not a few minutes, but eventually you will see why I keep chopping away at it. Okay. So anyway, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Then let's try this one. And this one can go both sides. And like I said, on my second set, I will use these as a guide to trim them down. All right, that one, and a little bit here. Now, I had done something similar to this kind of a tag and what I'm about to do in another journal. Honestly, I can't remember which one it was. I just remember that I had created a situation which I thought was pretty and didn't want to cover it, so I had to figure out what to do. So this solution is what I did. Okay, now this should be the next one, and this should just go right in here, and that is good enough. That is good enough. Okay, so now I think you can see where those tags are going. All right. Oops. So I can glue here, because I didn't want to glue it down until I was sure I had what I wanted. Okay. And that works out a lot better. Okay. So that's that. And I will, just for the sake of showing you what we're doing, ink around the edges here. But I'm only doing the outside of the page here. I'm not doing the, at the moment, I'm not doing the, what are going to be journaling cards. That's what these are. And I will show you how we hide them in a minute, as soon as I get this part done. Okay. All right. And that's that. Okay, so what we're going to do, let me check my time. Okay, that's not too bad. Now that I've worked this part out, hopefully I'll get the rest of it right. What I'm going to do is I am going to find what I did with the tape on the ribbon here. Okay. All right. Whoops. I want to do that. Okay, come on. There we go. All right. So I am going to take these out. All three of them. Oh, actually, you know what? Before I do that, let me measure them against the other ones. This one was fine, so the other one should be fine as well. But let me do these and get this where this needs to be cut now. Okay, I can't see that. All right, and there. All right, so I'll cut that one down. And then this one, get that lined up. Okay. All right. All right. And there we go with that one. Okay. And I'm just going to get them cut now so that I don't forget. And we'll be, hopefully, they will fit into the other side, the other side that I'm doing. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, so I'm not sure. I think I started like 3 stories and didn't finish one of them for you yet. But I did start to say that, I had been working on trying to kind of update my files and sort my brain around things. And it was kind of a slow starting morning because I ended up, not sleeping and all of that jazz. So, but anyhow, I'm hoping that I can get off of whatever. I'm not even really sure why I have this medication, to tell you the truth. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be doing. So all I know is that I don't feel quite as well as I did before I started taking it. So I'm hoping to see better things with him come Monday. That's my plan. Anyway, so I am trying to pull all my thoughts together and my plans together. And what I do like about doing some of these things, because, I watch I don't watch all of you, obviously, but I watch a whole bunch of people, on YouTube. I must be subscribed to something like 275 channels. It's impossible for me to view everybody's, and I admittedly am subscribed to some people who don't really have any content on their channels. So I don't have to worry about, missing videos that they're doing or whatever. But I nonetheless I just don't get the chance to watch everybody the way I'd like to. So I do scan through, and when I see things, I'm trying to find my other scissors, but I'm not seeing them. So let me grab these. Hopefully these are still okay. Yeah, they're still okay. I should have something here. I am looking for like a piece of wax paper or something, which I'm not seeing. So, and I have to go like someplace else to get it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a bunch of this down. Now I have not sewn on my machine since June. Since all of this stuff started with my eyes. That was the last time I sewed anything. So I'm going to stick this down, and I can't get my sewing machine over here because of the outlet situation. This isn't the best setup down here in the basement. But I it kind of is what it is. So I am going to just scrunch up this ribbon with the Oohoo stick, and I am going to sew it after the fact. I'm not going to sew it on camera. You will see it when it's done. So I'm just scrunching, and doing that a little bit. Hopefully I have enough. I think I want to pull up a little bit more. I don't know how well this works for staying scrunched up, but it works well enough for, you know, for doing this part of it. Let's see, where am I? Got a little wad of glue there. Okay. All right, I'm going to get this. I should have actually done this first, so let me just pull that back. And like I said, these are really going to be left blank. Specifically for journaling, I'll probably put a fussy cut on it. You know, a bird or a flower or something, or a butterfly. Because that's primarily, you know, the little pieces that I'll be working with in the kit. Or maybe not in the kit, but with this journal. So, just want to kind of get in there with that. Okay, and I'm going to do the other side. Let me get that done as well, just because. That way it's done. I always seem to forget at least one, sometimes more. And I'll go through the journal, I'll be doing a flip through, and I'll flip over a card, and I'll be like, oh, forgot that one. So I'm just going to pull this back and try to get the edge a little bit. So like I said, I want this primarily really as just journaling space, but I want to show you what it ends up looking like. I'll get that back here. And let me find that page. I'll put these over here. Okay, this is this middle one. So this is going to go in here. And essentially, this goes kind of, when I stitch it, I'll pull this back a little bit so it's not, you know, right up against the edge like that. So this is what it's going to look like. Okay, let me get the next one. Okay, here's my ribbon. I'll try to just kind of get the edge a little bit rather than go down too far, because I do want it to overlap the edge of the pocket. Okay, so let's do a little scrunching here. I'm not doing a good job on this one. I mean, I like when it looks kind of all, you know, wonky and just kind of bunched randomly. It really looks pretty, but sometimes I don't get enough bunched in a place. And then, like I said, I'm going to stitch it. I'll stitch it down. Okay, that one now goes up in this pocket like that. And like I said, this will be stitched along the edge of the pocket so that the ruffle will actually come over the pocket like this a little bit better. And then the last one goes, if I had my wax paper here, it would work a little bit better, but this will work. Okay. Whoops. All right. Okay. Let's get this guy and get him bunched up. I think this is kind of cute. I was trying to decide which ribbon I was going to use, and I just kind of held it up to the thing, and I was like, oh, you know what, I like the green. And then when I looked at the image, it has, well, actually, there's stems and leaves, but they almost look ribbon-like, which I thought was kind of neat. And I thought, that's probably that, you know, subliminal thing as to why I thought it looked nicer with the green. It's a little less intrusive and blends a little bit better, because there was going to be a lot of ribbon on here because of what I'm doing. There was going to be a lot of ribbon. I just pulled this up, and now I can't kind of get it to stay down. I may end up redoing it. But, again, not a big deal. Okay. And that one goes in here. Okay, you can see where I kind of messed this one up with I didn't get it down very well. So, you know what? Give me this. I can't take it. We're just going to redo that puppy. So let's do that. Okay. Okay, here we go. This way? Yeah, this way. All right. So we will, see, this is working much nicer. Much, 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 much better. So, come on. There we go. That one's nicer. Okay, so what we do then now, still, I have to trim this down, I think. What we're going to do now on top of these is, so these look like that's the edge of the pocket, okay? And then what I was going to do was put another card, get that out of the way, in each pocket like this and this. So that's what I was going to do. So now you see why I didn't know if I was going to put lace. I definitely knew I wasn't going to put ribbon. Yeah, I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to go ahead and do on these pockets. So that's how that's going to look. This is going to be the centerpiece. Let me see if I have time. Yeah, I think I can probably get it to go. I'd like to kind of see this finished. So I am going to pull these out. I have just this tiny little space left on my my desk. All that organizing. I have come to the conclusion that it really is very difficult for me to do more than one project at a time. It just doesn't work. I would need like 3 or 4 tables around me and have a spot just dedicated to each one. I can't pile them. All right, I'm trying to find, here they are. I can't pile them in, in the spaces on top of each other. I can't do it because then my system doesn't work. So, okay. So this is the one that's going to go down here. Okay, so we're going to glue this one down. Let's get that one glued down. Hopefully this will work a little bit better this time. Oh, I'm stuck closed. Okay. All right. Oops. So, like I said, my hope is to kind of push through this one, get it in the stores. I have a little collection, not the stores, the shop. I have a little collection of small, kind of dainty journals that I am trying to get done. They are not going to be very elaborate. They're going to be very simple, actually. Okay, I think that'll be all right. And in speaking with my sister, I have decided that I'm going to call them the Gentle Ladies, or Gentle Lady collection. A gentle lady, like a gentle woman. So that's what I'm gonna call them. This one is the next one. So they're going to be similar to each other. So this one stays open on the top. So I'm just, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just mark, if I can get it. I'm going to glue there, and I'm going to just glue here. Okay, those are the only 2 places. So anyway, yeah, so they're going to be in my shop. They're going to all basically be similar and kind of put together the same way. Very simple, very plain. So yeah, so that will be done. And then my focus will go back to not the A Good Life, because that was just one that I was eager to get done. I had no specific plan for it. So not for that one as much, but I have the 3 commissioned ones, and so they will be my focus after that. And then whatever else I need to pick up on. But I am hoping to get, I'm going to have to trim some of this, but that's all right. I am hoping to get, just do the same thing here. I want to just glue here and here and here. Okay. Oops. I want to get a couple of Christmas ones done. I have one that is commissioned. But gosh, there are so many pretty kids out there. I thought I marked this. All right. You know, and I have a few actually of Artie Maze's. I'm going to be pretty much duplicating one that I did last year for someone, and it is in my on my YouTube channel, the flip through, because I had actually done it in one night because I needed a gift, and she was a new employee and a key employee for us, and so I needed a gift for her, and I didn't know, you know, what to get her because we didn't know her that well. She just came on board the middle of October, and so she'd only been with us, you know, like 8-10 weeks, and so, you know, I didn't know her that well. So the night before Christmas Eve, I said to my husband, when I had come in from work, I said, what if I make her a journal? And he's like, well, yeah, you know, that kind of thing. So I made her this journal. So I was like up all night. You know, not a good thing for somebody my age. Used to be okay. Can't do that kind of stuff anymore. I'll just trim all of this stuff down later. Anyway, yeah. So I did that journal, and a lot of people had asked if I was going to do it again, and I had promised I would do, you know, at least one for this Christmas this year. Thinking I would have gotten to it a whole lot sooner than this. So I will be doing that. It's kind of what we would call here in the United States, especially anybody who is from the northern states, here in New York State, et cetera, what we call an Adirondack look. It's very mountainy, you know, flannel-y, plaid, and I think you figured out by now how much I love plaid. You know, that kind of a feel of things. So I was trying to get rid of some of that, and I've got some things where I don't know, you know, I measured the paper, it fit right on top of it, and then it doesn't. Can't figure that out. You put it together and you have all this overhang. It's like, how does that happen? But it does. So that's why God made craft knives. We just trim it away. So anyway, I will be making one that looks, very similar to that one. The one that I have commissioned, someone who has commissioned, is going to also be quite similar to that. And she has asked for some specific things in it. I'm trying to see this, and I can't quite get, I'm in a shadow. I still need a light on this side of my my desk, so I have a better, you know, not shadowy. I'm sure it's good for anybody to not have the shadows, but particularly good for me now because, yeah, because of my issues. So that is what it's looking like. I'm going to stand up and bring it here again, and then I'm going to show you there's a pocket here, pocket here, pocket there, pocket there, pocket there, and a pocket there. But when you look at it, it just sort of looks like the page. I'm into these hidden pockets. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find those other cards and They're here. Oh, here they are. Okay. They should fit, so I'm going to check them first. And they're going to go this way this time. Let's see how this is feeling. I think I still need... I think I cut this one a sec. Oh, no. You know what? I'm going to cut this down. I can't remember if I cut it down on the other one and not on this one, but I'm going to cut it down a little bit here. It may not be the same size as the other one when you pull it out, but oh well. Because I want more out on this end. And in order to do that, I needed to make this end short. So, okay. Or shorter. So then this goes in here. And that's the same thing. And this goes in here. And that's the same thing. So good. So that works. We are going to put the ribbon on here. Oh, not that one. To get my ooh-hoo. We're going to put the ribbon on here. So anyway, I'll be doing, you know, one of those kind of mountainy, platy looking Christmas ones, the very primitive, country looking. I'll be doing one that's going to be a little bit, definitely always vintage, and you know, I'm not always much for retro, because my understanding is vintage is something that looks kind of Victorian, you know, 1800s, early 1900s, very early 1900s, something like that. And retro is something more from like the 40s, 50s, 60s, that kind of a time period. For me, it is when I grew up, not the 40s, I'm not quite that old, not even the 50s really, because I was born in 1959, so that's not really, I don't remember. So I'm more a product of the 60s. But because I lived it, I guess, it doesn't hold as much attraction for me. Some things do. But it's the older stuff, the things of my ancestors, I guess, that kind of pulls me in a little bit more. So I don't necessarily do retro, but that doesn't mean that I wouldn't. I just don't think I'd have the time. I wouldn't be able to get to it this year, unfortunately. So, yeah. So anyway, perhaps next year we'll try the retro. But you know, I've got all that the pink Christmas stuff from last year that I didn't do last year. I've got, you know, stuff from Artie Mays, which is kind of Victorian and vintagey looking, and you know, yeah, there's a couple of others that I have that I would like to try to do, and I don't know that I'm going to get to all of them, like I said, but my hope is eventually to get ahead, let's, God willing, and be able to get some stuff, you know, start Christmas in, you know, like August, when you're supposed to. So I have plenty of time to get plenty done and get it done right, you know, get it done well. Okay, so we are going to, let me close up this glue, and we are going to put this page together so you can see how it will work. So this one is going to go in this pocket, and like I said, these will be sewn so that the ruffle will come over the edge of the pocket better than what you're seeing here. If I yank on it right now, I'll pull all the glue out. So they go in here, and they just, and I'm probably going to trim that card down. Then this one goes here. Okay. This one, what did I just do with the little guy? I just had the little guy, didn't I? Oh, here he is. Okay. This one goes in here. Okay. There we are. And this one goes in here like that. And then these will go in here like this. And this. Get in there. And this. Whoops, knocked my glue over. And then this. And this. Is that right? Yes, that's right. And then I may, but I don't know. I haven't like put anything together, but I can still do, you know, little ones like this. These aren't backed at this point, you know, something like that. I can throw a few of those in there, that kind of a thing. So that is this one. Okay, our new hidden pocket page. And like I said, you have journaling cards or tags here, and then the ruffle pieces come out and give you tag front and back as well. So that is it for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will be back again with another video soon. And in the meantime, be safe, be happy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.